Bust 3 shots for the purge, never cheap shots for the purge. You taking cheap shots for the burn? We got the streets watching the purge, making weed hot in return. Haters on the sideline, keep watching, observe. Keeping company with ops on the curb. We not for the herbs like celery, rocking the burbs. Brother, we clocking and earn, locking and turn.
Boom. He comes, we caught him. Spot him, got him.
In a world where a former Rizzler totally bailed on mogging and tanked his muse streak after Chad Mega rizzed up his Lizzie Dunn. Bro turned full spank ninja and alt F4 back to his goon cave. 5 real.
I don't know. What world is this? Hold up, can y'all even hear me?
Yes, we tried not to fuck up the intro, nigga. I went through all that.
That was a lot. That was a lot. It took me a minute.
Yes.
I didn't know. But nonetheless, as we know, Purge of the BS is back again. And it must begin. Because I have so much BS built up. It's under my fingernails. I can smell it. So I gotta call my boys Bricks and Bravo to the stage. Gentlemen, would you join me in another Purge of the BS, please? Hold on. Would you join me in another Purge of the BS? Please! Oh, I hit an extra octave on that. I hope you ready. That means this is about to be.
I'm just over here rinsing up, man. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not from Ohio.
Well, guys, it is good to see you. I had to come from under the BS, so anybody that's watching, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're having a little bit of fun over here. I'm liking it. So don't forget to catch us on the next episodes, the live episodes. Throw something on the shorts. Let's make this a thing. It's happening, so let's keep going. So shoot, how y'all feeling, man?
Yeah, man. I'm feeling good, feeling great, yo. I just had to, for the intro, I had to give y'all a little bit of that Zoomer brain rot, because that's how they talk now.
Right.
I had to give you a little bit of that. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, guys, it's been an interesting week. They recently celebrated Juneteenth. Do you guys celebrate the Juneteenth holiday?
I take advantage of the Juneteenth holiday.
What do you mean by that?
The irony is not lost on me that we celebrate Juneteenth by not working for the government.
Right.
I like that.
Well, that's the funny part. Is a lot of companies don't really honor Juneteenth as a holiday.
Of course.
Like, it's a holiday, but they don't. It's not like 4th of July or Christmas or Thanksgiving, that kind of stuff, where you just automatically get the day off. You have to talk to someone. You have to, like Bricks was saying, take advantage of the race card when it comes to Juneteenth. And in the corporate world, a lot of people there don't look like us, so they don't even know. You tell them, hey, it's Juneteenth, happy Juneteenth. They're like, what are you talking about?
Juneteenth.
Yeah, it's a whole holiday built around, we forgot to tell them.
Yeah. That was a sign of the times. See, back then they didn't have, Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure the news would have gone out pretty quick if they had social media.
Oh, they
only
were
had
trying to
basic cable
spread
back
that
then.
news.
Yeah, somebody would have got shut down. This is fake news.
Fake news. Fake news.
They would have tore that up. So, nonetheless, I just wanted to wish you guys a happy Juneteenth. There's been a lot of debates about Juneteenth this week online. Speaking of which, I'll give an honorable mention. Candace Owens is back.
Oh.
Yeah, she's back. I told you she was going to come back. She got her own shit now. It's a little more low budget than what she was doing before, but it's the same kind of content. But she had a whole issue with Juneteenth. I'm not going to get into it because I don't necessarily agree with her take on it. I'll put a link in there.
What was her take?
That's your girl, though. That's your girl.
Well, no. It's more or less she feels like kind of like it's a ruse. Like, it's okay, so we got a holiday. So what? What's it actually helping and changing with that? Like,
what are we kind of like her whole persona?
I mean, look, man, don't do that. Don't do that with Candace this early, man. She just came back. She's been on 2 weeks. She had already been up on Piers Morgan's show and some other stuff, man. She's doing all right. I'm wishing her the best. her and her forehead. Okay.
How long have
Did
you been
she
a
push her
fan
eyes
of
together?
canned ass?
Okay. How long have I been a fan
Kandaki.
No. Let me say this. I have been a fan of Candace for a few years. Like when she was first coming out, I was a little like, "Who's this little lady?"
That's a huge bitch.
And then
Exactly.
I listen to what people say.
Okay.
Like I listen and I hear. Now, granted, there's some contradictions in the woman's stuff. Don't get it twisted. She talks a lot about the black community and uplifting it, and she's married to a Caucasian person. So that's a little bit contradictory. And
Yeah, God is good.
but that doesn't.
Ain't he, though?
But at the same time, I also can't say that her doing that is somehow diminishing the black community. Like her being married to a white person is not the worst problem that the black community has. So it really isn't a big deal.
It is a problem. It is a problem because
It's a contradiction, but it's not a problem.
She's
That's how I feel
stepping,
about it.
fetching for these white people, and they say, "See, this one agrees with me," and so they build their whole ideology on how black people should feel off of this candy ass motherfucker. That's why.
Look, man, I done already told you we're not going to speak negatively of Candace at this time. She is trying to push her. She's trying to. The First Amendment is the First Amendment, man, and whether we like what the person's saying or not,
I'm
we
expressing
respect.
mine.
And her. This is the thing. I feel like, in a grand sense, there's more black women that are saying negative things than there are Candace Owenses. You see what I'm saying? So if I had to listen to something, I'd like to have that too. I like the fact that she has a different opinion. I like the fact that she's not shaking her ass all over the place. That she likes to have a decent debate. That she can go on Piers Morgan and not have her titties out and a weird ass wig on and talk about she's a crackhead named Barney. You see what I'm saying? She utilizes her platform to push her message, and her message at the end of the day is an overall positive one. So, like I said, I don't agree with every single thing the woman does, but I can appreciate that she's on the positive side of things in a grand sense. I don't think that
She does enough to convince folks like you, and I believe that is her danger.
Oh, folks like me. What you mean by that? You talking about brown people?
Who believe that she is an overall positive person when she is definitely undercutting most black people that she even speaks upon.
Well, how's she undercutting you specifically? Since we're talking about it, I mean, I wasn't really planning on this, but since you talk,
she speaks about the black diaspora as in most of us don't know what we're doing, or ignorant, or waiting for money, or all that kind of thing. She's like, get up and do this thing. Great, that's positive, but the undertone of how she speaks about us as a people is negative. That's the problem I have with her.
I don't. We're gonna have to float around that somewhere else, because I don't want to get into another Candace Owens debate until I can get Candace Owens on here to debate, because I can't speak for that woman. All I can say is when it comes to the image socially of black women, I'd rather see Candace as an image than, the ratchetness. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she's 100% right all the time. I'm just saying that she's a better look than this other bullshit.
What if her name was Man Ass Brokens?
Could be that. Could be that. But speaking of, let me tell you, I got another story for y'all that's very interesting. Very interesting. So there was some folks in Atlanta. They had 5 sisters. This is the story that came across my timeline. 5 sisters got indicted in a fraud scheme for over $1 million in Atlanta, right? Now, when you hear the headline 5 sisters, I'm black, so I thought they meant like 5 black women. Like, that's what I
sisters
thought.
were
5 sisters. So when I tuned into it, it was apparently. Let me tell you guys about this, because it's a big thing right now with fraud. Ever since COVID, fraud has been 10, 15,000 times more prevalent in the U.S., right? So these chicks literally, and folks, if you don't do this, because they got caught. So it's an interesting idea. I'm gonna peg it out for you, but I'm telling you, we are not saying to do this, okay? All right. So this is what these chicks did, right? So they literally ordered items from Amazon, expensive items from these, shops or whatever. They got the items. They said something was wrong with the items, and they worked at FedEx So what they would do is they would tell the people they're sending the item back, they'd print out a label, and an item would never get back. Then they would take the physical item to an actual store that was of the same name and return it for cash there. So they literally were double dipping. They were getting a return back from the shipping, from like shipping something that never got there, and they were getting cash money back. And this was 5 sisters working at FedEx. They've been doing this for years. Over $1 million, $1 million in mail fraud. So
how many years did that take? How many years did it take for them to get up to $1 million?
I think they said about 5 years, about 5 years of it. But they were going all over the nation doing this. Like they had a whole situation. So here's my thing. And I got to ask the question. Are we as a society just looking for the next opportunity to get over?
Absolutely.
Is that really what we're doing?
Yep.
I'm just wondering why they chose to shit where they eat.
Because that's where they could get things done. They knew how to utilize that system. Because
I'm just saying, once they narrow it down, and you can't leave there because that's your job, you fucked, Mr. Postman.
Well, I mean, you're right. But
Mail fraud
my main thing, the other piece I wanted y'all to kind of understand where I peeled off some BS was the headline itself. They could have said family indicted, but when they said 5 sisters, they knew that some people would automatically think that it was black women. And in the news reports, they neglect to show pictures of the women at all. You see what I'm saying? So allowing you to...
I see what you're saying, but I have not seen a news headline that referred to black women as sisters on any news publication.
Yeah, but that's because they don't do that. The point I'm trying to make is we speak that way, and they're aware of that. People who write shit know language, so they understand if I say this, there's a segment of the population that's going to view it like this immediately and then figure out later, oh, it's just these people, and they happen to be sisters. But
were they white?
Yes, that's my whole point.
Right.
So
that's why I can't.
But they didn't show their pictures. But they didn't show their pictures. Every other time you see somebody do something, especially when it has a black face on it, there's pictures. They show mug shots. They show all that kind of stuff, right?
Well,
they showed nothing.
The question that I have about that is, do we have a body in the bright light?
Yes, we do. And guys, I have a special one for you. Now, we're going to go back in time a little bit, but we're going to bring it up to current day. Now, no, I'm not going to have a baddie that's not alive. Remember, that's part of the criteria. Must be alive.
Man.
Okay.
Next time,
that's a damn bitch.
You know what? But as we get into the baddie situation, I got to tell you guys, this one came to me on a humble because I was looking at some new like videos, movies, and stuff that were coming out. And you guys remember Jessica Alba?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to bring Jessica to the screen. But before I do that, I wanted to share this trailer of her new shit. And I thought you guys might like to see it. Now, it's on YouTube.
Is it OnlyFans?
No, it's not OnlyFans. I know that's all you want. You'd want trim and all trim. Like I said, I'm trying to, at least give these women the proper forum to say that they're doing more than just being beautiful. We all know Jessica Alba looks good, right?
Right.
I know she does. You know she does. So I don't have to say the obvious, which is, the stuff that we would say in the barbershop.
I think I know the movie,
This is a new joint she got coming out called Trigger Warning, right? Now, apparently
Jessica Alba plays Selma Hayek.
playing Frida.
So because the clip is relatively short, I just want y'all to see a couple little action scenes she got going. It's a cool clip.
Selma Hayek in Donkey Punch Squatting Fist 3. This time it's personal.
I'm sorry about your dad, but I'm glad you're home, kid.
Senator.
Parker, welcome back. People like
Jessica Alba.
They like
Daddy in the Bright Lights.
Or liked him. I'd like to keep it that way.
I don't think his death was an accident.
Parker, stay out of it. See if there's a safe.
Yes.
Yes.
Did she spank him in the face?
What do you do for the government?
I don't think y'all
What do
niggas
you
ready
know
for
about
this.
Senator Swan?
Hold on, what's my time?
What the hell you got into? How much does Parker know about this?
All right, I'm going to cut it. I got to cut it because fucking Netflix did not pay for that. So, nonetheless.
That looks good, though.
Nonetheless, that does look pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So, Jessica Alba's back. Okay? There's a lot of people.
She whooped that nigga in the face with a jacket.
This is why I wanted to bring it up. This is why I wanted to bring it up, right? When they came with the trailer, there was a bunch of comments on like Twitter and stuff about how it's unbelievable because Jessica Alba's so like small and dainty as a woman to be in an action flick. It just doesn't really match her character. But for me,
and
do you guys give a
Predator
damn?
was
Do you
real.
guys care? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you guys really care about that?
Right.
No.
Bricks, what do you care about when it comes to Jessica Alba?
the boobs.
You care about the trim. He said, where's the fucking...
I didn't say where's the trim. You said
I said that
where's the
for
trim.
him. I said it for him.
Yeah,
You said
don't
it
say
for-
that. I don't
I'll
say
give
that.
y'all... Hold on. Let me appease my homies.
Yeah, can
Let me
we
appease them. Let me
Pause all the way, please.
Right.
a little something. Put a little something in your face. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple.
Look at her. Looking like a baby J-Lo. Look at her.
Hold on, let me see what else I got. Let's see what else I got. Hold on. Let's see what else I got. Let's see what else I got. Let's see what else comes through.
Oh,
Thing. Okay. Well, this isn't the best picture of her.
no,
right
and
here.
you're
I know
good for that.
Yeah, I do that on purpose. I do that on purpose just so I can surprise you with other things later. You see what I'm saying? There you go. That's a little better. That's more Sonny Bricks' style right there. Okay. So nonetheless, I also wanted to give a shout to her. She got some skin cream or something going on right now. She's beefing with them over something. She got a lot going on. I just didn't know
Last
she
time
still
you had a good
discuss-
beef over skin cream.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
her
like
skin
to.
does
I like
look
to give her
amazing.
some of my honest cream.
Yeah, that's the cream. It's called Honest. So it's organic, probably high in protein.
I mean, I bought some, and I like to discuss the product with her.
But nonetheless, guys, let's give it up for our baddie in the bright lights of this week. That is Jessica Alba. We're gonna give it up for her.
Right.
Good luck on the new movie, Jessica. I'm gonna review that flick.
honestly
'Cause I will watch it. Yeah, I will be watching that flick. I'm not a big, pretty women action flick guy because then they get all beat up and then they're not as pretty anymore.
Oh, come on.
What's it? Gal Gadot tried to do one, and it just flopped hard. She tried to do like
Charlize
some kind of.
Theron is a beast in her action.
Oh yeah, well, Charlize Theron is a whole different.
she put it down, bro.
She's South
did you
African, ain't she?
Did you? Oh my God! Did you see that interview where they were like, "So you're South African and you have American citizenship? So does that mean you're African American?" She said, "No."
Absolutely not. She know better than that.
She should have.
Yeah, she was
better
mad.
than that, yo.
She should have probably looked at the Joker and said,
What the fuck is wrong with this nigga? That's your name. That's your man. Who is this?
Oh my God.
Honestly creamy.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Alba Hayek, played by, what's her name?
Jessica Alba.
J-Lo, playing Jessica Alba, playing Ernest Borgnine.
so guys, I got a very interesting and special Who's Mans for you guys. Yeah, we have a good Samaritan story. Okay?
Nice.
It's a feel-good story. So if you're still here, make sure you do the thing that we talk about doing, which is like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff.
Right.
Make sure you bang the bell so you know when we drop a new video every time. So
For sure.
in NYC, my home base, you know what I'm saying, back in the day.
Nice.
I have to pay homage to my folks in the area. They had a recent a criminal was on the loose, okay? And the citizens of Queens, New York came to the rescue, and I wanted to show you this clip so that you guys can give Queens some props, okay? Have you guys haven't been to Queens anytime lately, have you?
I have.
Yeah, I was. About a month ago, I went up to see my aunt in Jamaica.
Have they changed anything about Queens in the last 30 years?
Not from where I was.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess there's just no space to really change anything in New York.
Yeah.
It just is what it is at this point. They built everything they was going to build.
I mean, there's a lot of gentrification going on in New York as a whole. In New York City.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
They pricing out folks. They pricing out
they
folks.
are. I was just about to say that with the whole, they got the toll price when you go downtown and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, the congestion pricing? That's crazy, yo. That's crazy.
So, nonetheless, I'm going to give you all
townhouses in the Bronx going for $650. In the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
What?
In the Bronx, yes.
Damn, that girl look better than the baddie in the Bright Lights.
Oh my God.
That's Natasha Berman. Anyway, we're not going to talk about Natasha. I'm gonna give you this beautiful story about the lovely residents of Queens, New York.
That suspect identified as an Ecuadorian migrant who entered the country illegally and is now facing a slew of charges, including rape and kidnapping. This all dates back to an incident at Casino Park on Thursday when he allegedly forced 2 teens into a wooded area at night.
Michelle, it was actually a group of Good Samaritans who helped lead to his arrest.
Steve, in true New York fashion, a group of Queens residents came to the rescue for that 13-year-old girl when they found that suspect.
Christian Giovanni Ingalandi is walked out of the Queens Special Victim Squad in Forest Hills. Police say he is the man who raped a 13-year-old girl in Casino Park last week.
Rapist for you guys!
About 3 miles from the crime scene in Corona, residents there recognized him from the neighborhood. They say they all waited for him at this bodega on 108th Street where he often went before attacking him.
Boom. He comes, we caught him. Spot him, got him.
We just happened to see the suspect and we acted accordingly.
I need to do something because it's just not right. And I got 2 little sisters. I'm about to have a daughter. And that's just not right.
Hey, I'm racist!
Here, we found that the community was holding our perp. At the time, the community was trying to hold the perpetrator, waiting for the police. He fought with them, and the community still managed to hold on to him until we got there.
He was like, let me explain. There was nothing to explain because at the end of the day, what is there to explain? He was more so like trying to get forgiveness from us, but it was no forgiveness to be given.
So, gentlemen, I would like to give it up for the residents of Queens who took it in their own hands. To apprehend this.
Yeah.
I really do. And I like to give it up for the police for not like charging the people with kidnapping or something like that for holding on to it.
That would have been a bad look for them. That would have been a huge bad look for them. You know what I mean? They literally doing their job for them. And then if they threw charges on the community for that, that would have been a horrible look.
Yeah. Well, you know what I also wanted to, I just want to give everybody one of those, hey, open your eyes up a little bit for the next few months, is you're going to start seeing a lot of these stories that are connected to specific litigation that's polarizing in the elections. Like the mention of this guy being a migrant. It really didn't matter that he was a migrant. You see what I'm saying? He didn't have a criminal record. This was his first, well, he had a criminal record, but he had never had like a charge.
He was working on it.
Right. But he didn't have any charges. He didn't have a pattern of something. So, but they identified him specifically as a migrant, not just gave his name or he's a resident.
Healthy fucking migrants.
Right. Because
take that, you filthy animal.
And let's talk about the narrative. There is a narrative that wants you to believe that everybody that comes across that border down south is a criminal. So whenever they see something that's connected to somebody that's a migrant, like they're a legal migrant or whatever. Because did they say illegal? I don't know if they said illegal.
No,
some people
just said migrant. It's an Ecuadorian migrant.
There you go. There's that spin right there. That's where you miss it. So you're thinking illegal immigration. You're thinking border security.
It's probably not illegal. It's probably not illegal because the recent stories is that they've been trucking busloads of them to New York. Exactly. And right now they're in a crisis because
giving them money.
Because they're a safe haven city. All of their resources have just been been sucked dry, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like they clear out the safe haven homes every day and make them come back and reapply every night. So they got just people running wild in these streets trying to get these jobs, whether they be above board, below board, whatever. They just been dropping thousands and thousands and thousands of people in that city.
That is some
crazy.
pretty fucked up shit.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Can you say what the fuck did I do last night?
No, bad idea. Don't do it.
That was amazing timing, Brett.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Absolutely amazing.
I studied at Cambridge.
So, I gotta bring you another viral sensation situation here.
That's what that chick said to me in Tijuana.
Exactly.
Lord have mercy.
The one I first left the clinic.
Yes.
I left with a viral sensation. It was both soothing and burning.
Like icy hot.
Like lotion made of acid.
So, guys,
yes,
you ever seen green vomit?
It's the vomit whip. It turns vomit back into food.
Oh my God. That's hilarious though.
Yeah.
All right. So, gentlemen.
It's a viral sensation.
Yeah, well, I have a viral sensation who recently got fined for, I don't know, like reckless driving, I guess. I'll let you see the clip and then we'll talk about it. All right.
Okay.
I just thought it was interesting. Let me see what I got here. Share screen.
Is the Lamborghini joint?
No, this is a Dodge Charger, I think it is. Okay. That old
Meanwhile, at the Army base.
All right. So the guy with the
Dodge
mask
Charger,
on
you
here.
say?
Yeah, the guy with the mask on here is not Kanye
Hellcat.
West.
All right.
This is the Belltown Hellcat driver guy. He showed up in court. So you'll find out in the clip.
Fonte Best.
21-year-old Miles Hudson, possibly too stunned to speak. Moments before walking out of this door, he got hit with a fine equaling the 2022 average annual salary in Washington.
Not bad.
Supporting the city in the amount of $83,619.97.
Also in court Tuesday, the Belltown Hellcat enabler, Rebecca Hudson. While for months, her son has continued to run amok at all hours of the morning in Seattle. In fact, Rebecca Hudson is actually one of the registered owners of the Belltown Hellcat. In a letter to the city months ago, she claimed her son no longer had the car. But according to Miles Hudson's own social media account, that does not seem to be true.
You're not going to come up with the $83,000.
I'm going to come up with it. It's a little bit emotional. I wouldn't say come up, but who's to say I don't have it?
Today's court hearing was more for show. It's because the city cannot garnish Hudson's wages because he doesn't have an official job. And they can't really seize his car because his mom co-owns it. But
so, nonetheless,
a little bit of motion.
A little bit of motion. I'm just going to move this over here. Here's the thing, that's $100,000 car, by the way.
Just to be clear, I mean drugs.
Right. Just to be clear, this is not to be recorded, sir.
Yo, but here's the question. Here's the question I have for you. All right, so
let's go.
He has, I don't know what the charge is, but he's being fined $83,316 and 67 cents, whatever. That, I think that was the amount they said. But for what? Were there damages? Were there actual damages to the city?
That's my whole point. My whole point. He didn't damage the city per se. They're mad about the, skid marks, like donut marks in the middle of the intersections where he does the donuts. He's got a modified exhaust that sounds like a bunch of gunshots when it's, downshifting and stuff. That sounds hot, though. I love that. But he's got that going on, so it's a noise nuisance type of complaint. He's driving through places at 100 or so miles per hour when he's not supposed to, even though he has not had an accident and he hasn't hit anybody. So they're just finding him for being annoying. Basically,
$83,000.
Yes, and what's most impressive about that is that's the fucking average income in that area. That's pretty good.
So here's the thing. I don't agree with how they charged him, but I do agree with him being fined that much because he recorded his own fucking crimes. That's called a dumb tax.
And that's why it has shown up on Purge of the BS Bad Ideas. Because that was a bad idea, sir. Come on, I get it. So, you have this nice car.
So let's get this straight. This dude photos or videos himself in the car that he uses every day with his social media. His name is on the newscast, and he thinks a little fucking mask is going to stop anybody from knowing who he is.
I mean, they know exactly who he is. This guy's got a huge following on social media. Like he puts together car meets and slideshows and all that kind of stuff. So he's not going to stop doing what he's doing. And you heard at the end, they can't even really do anything to stop him. That's why they find him so much. Because it's really just an annoyance charge. He didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Speaking of car meets,
God can bless a hot mess. Amen.
Gods have awakened.
car
To be
meet.
here. Turn around, ladies, for me, please.
Car meet.
Is that with an A?
That's a huge bitch.
No. We're not going to go all the way in. We're not going to go all the way in. We're just going to put the tip in, okay?
Exactly. Was the Belltown Hellcat honestly creamy?
You can't handle the truth.
Well, guys, as we wrap up another purgical episode here, I have to drop the ultimate quote of the episode for you, okay? I hope your ears and your brains are ready.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
This is to pay some honor to the recent Juneteenth celebration, okay? And this is pretty quick.
Y'all niggas is free.
Give us free.
Right.
I'm a star.
Y'all got about 15 minutes to meet us at the boat.
Right. Yes, we can.
Anybody move, I'll blow your head off.
I don't know if y'all noticed, but all this shit yours now.
Okay, all right. Back to let me get serious.
I'll blow you.
Why is that nigga on that horse? I guess they Yoshi's the bird.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I should have probably done a Samuel Jackson quote because there's so many of them.
Right.
There's many amazing Sam Jackson quotes. So
yeah.
That was like 5 of them right there. We just went through. Anyway, quote of the day. No one's free until everybody's free. That's from Fannie Lou Hamer. Let me say it one more time. No one is free until everyone is free.
That's facts. That's fact. It makes me sad though, but it's facts.
I don't know. I guess if I'm in the cage and you're not, somebody's free.
Somebody's free.
I'm just saying.
I'm not doing 20 to life right now.
Right.
No,
somebody's free.
Your prison sentence isn't a team effort, nigga.
Right. Listen, I tap in. All right, I'm gonna do 5. I'm gonna do 5.
Make sure you come back. Make sure you come back.
On June 19th, nigga, 2029, you better be back here. Right. Anyway, so in the spirit of Juneteenth, just understand, nobody is free until everybody's free. Right. I don't care if you're black, white, in the middle, if we're all if anybody's struggling,
Say the other colors.
Yeah. What? Say the other color. Red, yellow, purple.
We always say
teal looking niggas with the teal. Right. The teal looking niggas.
Chartreuse.
The Chartreusians.
Vermilion.
Yeah. All of them.
Right.
So
you know what? I think Juneteenth needs better branding. You know what I'm saying? Like Juneteenth, fixing white people party food since 1812. There you go. No capers, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna need Juneteenth to step it up. I'm not even gonna lie. I need him to step it up. First of all, I You don't
understand the
itself?
June. Why is it Juneteenth? Why do they call it Juneteenth?
Because it's the 19th.
What I got to do
honestly,
with 9? Where's the 9?
They didn't know. No, they didn't have a calendar. They didn't know what day it was.
Black people. We didn't know what day it was.
They knew it was
one
early.
of the 10th.
Yeah, exactly. That's really why. They didn't know what day it was. They knew it was the 10th day. They didn't have calendars. They didn't have a Rolodex. They didn't have Apple Watches. You know what I'm saying? They just know it was a teen day. So the last
it wasn't an
possible
email.
teen.
They didn't send an email. It was,
right.
Right.
They didn't look on their free niggas subreddit.
Rich, would you rather them have called it just June 19th?
I mean, I don't know.
This is
they got
final emancipation
names for it. Yeah, it's Emancipation Day is the legal or whatever you want to call it.
Understood. I don't know. There's certain things that I guess we do in our culture that makes me uncomfortable when other cultures say it. So,
So you don't like Juneteenth when it's said by people who are not black?
No,
I'll give you an example. When they took over.
So one of my superiors in the military hit me on the side. Well, not me directly, but it hit us, and we have a WhatsApp chat for my whole unit. And this guy is like the most straight-laced Caucasian gentleman you'll ever see. And he pops in the chat and says, "Happy Juneteenth, everybody." And
right. Yeah, it's kind of like when white people first started saying bling.
Right.
Well, no. Let's be real. Let's be serious now.
No, I'm serious.
We're serious.
If a Caucasianic person,
he says, "Let's be serious," and said Caucasianic.
If a Caucasianic person,
right,
says Happy Juneteenth.
Caucasianic, is that when they even sound white?
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like that. That's why I have. I don't want to say I have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with it, but I just
don't sit right.
It doesn't sit right. Like happy the day we freed you niggas day. Like you know what I'm saying?
And saying it in slang.
Happy your welcome day.
Exactly.
Happy your welcome day. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like keep that shit to yourself, nigga.
Right. Like, guess what? Like, if they somehow did reparations, right, and it became a holiday in the future, you know what I'm saying? And, I don't want no white person telling me, like, hey, happy better have my money day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want that.
You're making
I don't want that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like you gotta
the celebration. I appreciate it.
I do appreciate that. Yes.
I appreciate the effort. Yeah.
I only seem to find the parties though in white areas, like where they do a little block party or like an event. I only seen the June 19th or Juneteenth events in white areas.
Hey, look at us, we're allies.
I hate to say it that way, but that's what I'm seeing.
Look, everyone that I've seen, at least where I'm at. Inclusionary. We even put peas in the potato salad.
It's just one of those things. It's like sometimes you got to be careful what you ask for, because when you get it and you see what it really is in the long run, it's like, it's not really what I meant. But okay.
Yeah. Well, and BLM made a lot of money off of pushing for that back in 2021.
Of course,
that was their thing. They were pushing for all of that. What did that do? Juneteenth did nothing for me. I can't even get holiday
more money in George Soros's pocket.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is one of those things that's kind of like it's like saying, yo, you cool for a black boy, you cool for a white boy.
You're one of the good ones.
Yeah, just you got to be careful. Like if you popped up one day and saw white entertainment television, now we all know that most of it has been, but if there was a channel called white entertainment television, then there would be an uproar. So I just...
The funny part is the uproar would be from like woke white people.
It probably
and it would be redundant because they already have one. It's called CBS, NBC.
Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, television, by the way.
We get it, and I understand it, but it's just certain stuff that we do sometimes where I'm just like, I don't know how that feels on the other foot. Like you see somebody pop up with you see some like I don't know, collage of pictures somebody posts and they write white excellence.
Right. And show like a couple pictures of their kids and their family.
The white excellence.
White
It ain't no better. It ain't no better on the other side because a lot of people just use that as a cash grab anyway. You know what I'm saying? We for black education, black financial education and independence. And I propose that everybody get a rush card. Call now, $9.99. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
they playing. You know they playing this.
Yeah,
We know that. We know that. Look,
it's whack. Yo.
I didn't want to do this to Juneteenth.
No, I'm not. Because I don't want to rub anybody the wrong way. Because I get it, and I think it's.
I'm happy it's here, but it's
just when the wrong person says it, okay. Well, thank you.
Well, you know what's funny for me?
I'm gonna go back to eating this watermelon and chicken.
Right. I have a different aspect on it because I am first generation. My parents came from other islands, right? So it's wild to me because one of my favorite things that my dad told me when he got here, he was like, I didn't know I was supposed to be less. And so he was just talking to these motherfuckers how we talk to everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They're like, what is he doing?
Right? Like,
who is this nigga on this nag?
Man, is this? I need to know. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's your man. That's your man.
Well,
so it's different. It hits different for me.
Guys, you already know I gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay? Before I do that, I want to make sure everybody that's watching knows that we do appreciate all the comments, all the likes, the views. I like the way it's going. I like the conversation. Just make sure if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like, drop us a little something in the comment section. We'll talk about it.
Right.
We're here to have some fun. We want to get some information down too. So happy Juneteenth. Happy Pride Month too, by the way.
If you have ideas, hit us up on the subreddit. Drop some ideas what you want us to cover. What you want us to cover next week. You know what I mean? We're open to most ideas, not all ideas. But hit us up on the subreddit too. You know what I mean? If you want to catch up and see what we're doing.
Purge of the BS.
Yeah, that subreddit link can be seen right here.
Wow. There you go.
And that,
no pressure,
my friends, is the bullshit.
It is.
We out.
Easy.